Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy joins me now. Mr. Senator, I want to get your take on the 32-hour work week. But first, if I may, I want to talk Social Security. Please take a listen to this from President Biden. Roll it.
You know, just this week, Donald Trump said cuts to Social Security and Medicare are on the table. When asked if he changed his position, he said, quote, "There's a lot we can do in terms of cutting. Tremendous amount of things we can do," end of quote. I want to assure you, I will never allow it to happen. I won't cut Social Security. I will not cut Medicare.
OK, Mr. Senator, if we don't touch Social Security, it goes bankrupt. Something's got to be done, either raise the retirement age or raise the taxes. Am I right?
Well, a couple things. First, Joe Biden's plan, which has no political chance of passing whatsoever, will result in a 24% cut to Social Security, period. That's under current law. And frankly, Trump doesn't have a real plan either. Now, there is a real plan out there, and I've been involved with it. You would set up a trust, you'd set up a fund separate from the Social Security Trust Fund, put $1.5 trillion in it, invest it in the stock market just like 401ks do, and allow it to grow over time. That's what, like, the Canadian Pension Fund does, the Ontario Teachers Fund does. Every national fund around the world does it except for social. If we did it for social, we could actually bail out social and make the program better, for example, by repealing things like weapon GPO, which you don't know about, but a lot of Americans do.
Under your plan, your idea, would individuals have their own plan as opposed to being part of a group?
It would be part of the group, and the individual would repeal that 24% cut in benefits, which right now Joe Biden and Donald Trump, frankly, are going to enforce on the American people because their plans have no political chance of passing. No, you repeal that. The risk is borne by the fund, not by the individual, and the proceeds over time accumulate. They bail out the fund, and again, they do other good things for it.
What happens if the fund invested in stocks goes down?
Yeah, so an individual is actually protected against any loss. But if you look at the stock market and the investment in the economy since 1929, it's averaged an 8.5% return on investment. Now, we actually don't even assume that much. We assume a lot less than that. And nonetheless, we still make the numbers work. If the economy sinks, we got bigger problems than Social Security. So we just feel like we continue to rise with the economy, and we do a lot of good things for the American people. That's a plan that can pass. That's a real plan.
OK, let's get back to the 32-hour work week. Now, I think that may be politically popular, but, Mr. Senator, is it good economic policy?
It's one more example of the federal government trying to promise free money as if there's no consequences. There's incredible consequences of paying workers the exact same amount of money for working 32 hours instead of 40 hours. So, for example, you increase the cost of labor, which means that companies are more likely to automate. They're more likely to move overseas their operations for cheaper labor costs. And lastly, it contributes to inflation. It is a bad deal for workers. One more example, free money, nothing's free.
Last one, Senator. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst says she wants to end secret spending by the administration. She wants to end what are labeled other transaction agreements. Do you know what these secret transactions are, Mr. Senator?
I know that it's the way for the Biden administration just to kind of put money where they want to without the American people knowing it. And if you're trying to hide something from the American people, that's a bad thing.
Do these payments, secret payments, amount to a whole hill of beans, or are we talking?
Oh, it does. $40 million a pop, and $40 million a pop adding up to large sums of money. So it's not just a principle, you're hiding it from the American people, it's the amount, which is actually a drain on the federal fisc.
Mr. Senator, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. Always appreciated.
Thank you, Stu.
Yes, sir. Thank you.